Hello, my name's Cara Duffy and this is my daughter Ellana. I have two healthy children and then I've got my daughter who has been diagnosed with a rare genetic disorder. So I'm a full-time carer for my daughter because she has really complex medical needs, and I'm also studying at the University of Birmingham's MSc in Genomic Medicine, which I got interested in because primarily my background was forensic science genetics, but now having a daughter with a rare genetic disorder has brought my focus more in line with helping her and other families in the same sort of situation as myself. So Ellana, she was born at 36 weeks, and she did spend a little bit of time in the neonatal unit, but it's okay. She was discharged after 12 days, but was failing to thrive for the first sort of few months. We didn't really know what was going on there. Around 5 months old is we were getting to the clinch of we weren't quite sure whether she was deteriorating, so we weren't sure what was happening, and she got admitted to the children's hospital. Originally they thought that she'd got a neurometabolic disorder, which was quite devastating, and she was deteriorating. She was very, very, very poorly. Originally they were saying that she might have had a Krabbe disease, so they were giving her a potential 2 years to live. So it was very, very hard time, especially in the COVID and the pandemic. We were trying to get a diagnosis, plus the whole world had turned upside down. So whilst in there, because she was so poorly, they did a rapid exome sequencing on her. At that point, it was only reserved for those who were critically ill, because all labs were held up with having to do the testing for COVID. They did the trio exome sequencing on myself and my husband, and then on Ellana's DNA. And it took about 6 weeks, and they actually came back with a diagnosis of 2q23.1 microdeletion, which is also known as MAND syndrome. It was such a relief as a family to get a diagnosis. When you got everything in the air, and you're like, oh well, it could be this, it could be that, it could be the other. Having a prognosis really, really was so much like a weight lifted off our shoulders as a family. It gave us a better prognosis as well, because she's actually got a neurogenetic disorder rather than a neurometabolic disorder. So although she is still life limited, which is 5.5 now, so going from 2 to 5.5 is absolutely amazing. I'm interested in the PPI group. I'm actually doing my masters in genomic medicine, and I met a lady there called Vicky who's involved with the DMSA education side. She put me in touch with Tony because I've got my background is, as I say, I originally did forensic science and then went into lecturing in genetics, and now I've got the personal side of my family having a child with a rare genetic disorder. And my hope is to actually be able to use my experience, not only just the sort of the science side that I can understand, but actually to use my experience to help others going through this sort of the journey. It's such a hard journey from when you've got, you expect to have or hope to have a healthy child, and then your whole world gets turned upside down as soon as you start mentioning genetic diagnoses or disorders or syndromes, and it's hard. So to come out the other side, because I have had to, give up work because of having to care for Ellana full time, I want to be able to use my expertise and my knowledge to give back and just to help other families go through this journey. Whether that be a point of contact of the first, how did you go about it, or pointing them in the right direction of support groups that might be there, and just collaborating with the DMSA themselves to look at where to shape moving genomics in the NHS really.